vidIQ completely blew my doors off. I had no idea that the vidIQ chat was a feature, part of their software, their AI coach. I have no idea. I've heard all of the amazing reviews and seen a lot of great content creators share their experience with vidIQ, looking for outliers, optimizing titles, much more than that. But I just hadn't heard much about the chat feature, which in my experience has been really phenomenal. Now, I started with vidIQ after I had about 35 videos, which is great because now there's some data to look at to provide recommendations and things. But the whole difference is, and you might be asking, why wouldn't I just use ChatGPT or Claude, is because you could make that connection with vidIQ to your YouTube studio. So it's working off your own data, which is phenomenal. I think recently there's even an update where now you can use a connection between Claude and vidIQ to work in Claude and pull the data from vidIQ into there. But here, just having that vidIQ access to the YouTube studio data, being able to look at all those 30 plus videos and have a conversation back and forth in their chat has been amazing. And one of the things that I asked early on, well, what's the difference? I'd been using Claude and ChatGPT, and the big differentiator was that data access and vidIQ being focused on YouTube, which made complete sense. Very impressive on all the analyses that it had put together. Very detailed, very in depth. I even uploaded some brand documents that I created to give it more focus on what we're trying to achieve and the direction we're starting out with the channel. And it took those all into consideration. I shared even some really amazing channels, and I'm like, wow, these people are doing some great things. That would be an aspirational place to be in the future. And it was great because it talked about the different perspective they had versus what my perspective would be, and showed how there's differences in value. What I thought was really great, I just had no idea this chat feature existed. It's been really incredible. Very similar if you're using ChatGPT, you see your threads there along the side. It just has your data and it has memory, so moving forward on using, if you wanted to use scripts, etc., that it can help you out there. Now there's another amazing feature that I think for me was just as impressive, and I don't know how I missed these. I think it's one of those things when the student is ready, the teacher appears type of thing. I'd watched a ton of reviews and maybe I wasn't completely watching the review. I had it playing in the background and I was kind of in and out. But the other big one was, once you have your channel connected to vidIQ and it has all that data, since it's connected, it can look at those public videos that you have, look at the data behind it, and then provide recommendations on title updates. And it'll give you a proposal in that chat where if you accept, it'll make that change. You don't have to manually go back to YouTube Studio and change the title. I don't know why I thought that was such an amazing thing. I think it's just the integration and my background in corporate e-commerce and looking for ways to automate things and make things connect and work together and talk together is so key in being more efficient, being able to scale. And it was just phenomenal. Now, I still recommend you don't take your own judgment and throw it out the window, but this is something that can definitely speed up the optimization process if you want to review some of those past titles. There was even one where I was looking at initially the various descriptions on some of the videos, and some of them were really lengthy, and we slimmed those down because the ones I had from ChatGPT and Claude were very lengthy ones, and these are more concise. And I'm sure over time I'll update those as well. But just a phenomenal tool. I still recommend always, QA, just like all things AI, to make sure that the updated changes that you proposed and were accepted go live. But those are so huge. Those two features that vidIQ chat, which is their AI coach, as well as that integration to be able to optimize those public videos, and with the click of a button working in vidIQ. One last one, and you'll see this too when you're in that YouTube studio, you'll see some additional vidIQ icons in there that can connect you right to vidIQ and give you some different perspective there, but it's integrated right into the YouTube studio, as well as when you're out on YouTube and just surfing YouTube videos, looking for ideas, things like that. There's some more data that it provides there. But those two big ones, that chat was huge, and that integration with their API was super huge. Wasn't sure if you're aware of those. It was something that, I don't know, I was oblivious to, regardless of how many reviews I watched. And then, of course, now that I've been using it and I see some other YouTube reviews, I hear it mentioned in there, but I don't know why. I just didn't see that before. And it's, of course, your decision to start as you're starting your channel or once you have some reps in. For me, I think it was better to have some reps in to show that I was committed on that path with getting the channel going, and then having 35 videos for it to work off of to understand what the audience target is, what was working, what's not working, and have it something to work on. Where I feel as if I would have started out of the gate with it, it would have helped maybe on some optimizations early on, but still there's not going to be a lot of data. But it's entirely up to you what you're most comfortable with. In my past, I always started with software first and not having a use case to apply it, just trying to learn the software and knowing I would use it in the future. And that can be tough. When you're working in real time on your real data, you can really get the value out of these software tools versus, I feel, starting from a blank slate. Now, you may be different, so it's entirely up to you what you feel works out best. And just wanted to let you know that AI coach within vidIQ, that whole chat feature, just has been a phenomenal experience. So hopefully that's something that'll work out for you as well. And then I had no idea that AI API integration is, so you can work right in vidIQ, make some changes to existing live videos, and it'll push those changes in YouTube Studio. Thanks again. Have an amazing day. Talk with you soon.